If classroom management feels personal to you, I want you to hear this first. That makes sense. And it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. A lot of teachers feel emotionally drained, not because students are bad, but because behavior feels like a reflection of them. Feels personal does not equal is personal. When behavior feels unpredictable, teachers stay on edge. You're constantly scanning the room. You're reacting instead of leading. And your nervous system really never gets to settle. In that state, every interruption feels like disruption. And every refusal feels like disrespect. And every tough moment feels like a personal failure. Unpredictability leads to reactivity. And here is the part that most teachers were never told. Behavior feels personal when clarity is missing. Not because you're sensitive, not because you're doing it wrong, but because humans are wired to feel unsafe in unpredictable environments. So if you watched my last video, we talked about predictability. Predictability not only equals calm, my spelling is off there. Predictability equals safety. When you don't understand why behavior is happening, your body fills in the gap. And you guessed it, it fills it in with stress. That stress shows up as frustration, as overthinking, as emotional exhaustion, which is why you get in your car and you are exhausted. This is why classroom management, and I have to say this so loudly, cannot be about controlling behavior. It has to be about understanding the system you're in. When the system makes sense, behavior stops feeling personal, because then it starts making sense. Understanding changes how behavior feels. I'm going to write that down again. I'm going to write that. Understanding changes how behavior feels. This is so important. Over years of teaching, I realized that when classrooms feel chaotic or if they feel calm, it almost always comes back to the same few areas. Oh no! Dripped on my new shirt. Ah. Here are the areas that it comes down to. Boils down to these three things. Teacher power, student behaviors, and classroom systems. When even one of these things is unclear, teachers end up blaming themselves instead of realizing they were never oriented in any of these areas. And this is exactly why I do what I do inside the roadmap I created. It's not to give more things to do and more strategies, but it's to give new teachers clarity so teaching stops feeling personal and exhausting and overwhelming. If you want this, I did put it in a free guide down below that you can grab if you want it clearly in writing. It's really short. It explains why classroom management feels so heavy and why that's not your fault. If this made something click, I will link it below. That's a reminder for myself. Link it below. If this made something click, that really does matter. Not because you suddenly became a better teacher, but because someone finally explained what was missing and you're not losing your mind. It all makes sense. I'm really glad you're here.